No! 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 No!
So, Jax might actually be doomed. Hey guys, it's the Pink King here, and just 2 days ago we were given a teaser trailer to the very next episode of the amazing digital circus, releasing on Friday, December 12th, and oh boy, Gooseworks, why must you hurt me like this? Because after seeing the trailer, there's a lot of juicy information to chew on here in terms of not only what to expect for the next episode, with stuff like Kane's office appearing to be an important part of the story, more of the mysterious mannequin guy, on top of the strange hints towards Jax's fate, as not only is he very absent in comparison to everyone else, but he's also clearly going through a lot of demons ever since his crash out in the last episode. And all I can say is I'm both hyped and extremely nervous, because after all, knowing Gooseworks and Glitch, they're not the type of people to just drop all these little tidbits and do nothing with them. Oh no, they're planning something devious, and dare I say, I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. Because not only is it another step closer towards the finale, but this could also potentially be a sign towards the end of Jax. Honestly, 2025 has been the year of Jax as a character, because while back in 2014 I didn't hate him, I just didn't really care for him as a character, with my main feelings towards him at the time being that of the fact that he's quite one note and a little annoying, to now where he might actually be my absolute favourite character in the entire series. No joke, they managed to take the rather hollow shell of this rabbit and turn it into a really emotionally complex and an engaging character, which if you want to know more about, then be sure to check out my prior video on Jax. It's honestly one of my best videos ever made. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this one, but why am I making this video? Well, number one, I'm really impatient and I need to talk about Digital Circus, and also number two, this teaser seems to not only be hinting towards the inevitable roller coaster of emotions that will be episode 7, but also might potentially be hinting towards what will happen in episode 8 and 9 as well. And number 3, there might be a potentially disastrous problem hinted in this one teaser trailer for the next few episodes. Call me crazy, but I don't think Jax is going to survive this next episode. Just from everything we see here and the little clues given to us, I have a sneaking suspicion that this episode will start out just like any other one, with the gang on a casual beach adventure, before it will soon begin to spiral out of control, as Kane begins to slowly unravel for one reason or another, as teased in the last episode, causing the red exit door to reappear, which, you know, has been missing for a while now, suspiciously. Now, as far-fetched as this might sound, I do kind of like the possibility of Kane being the reason that that door hasn't appeared for a while, because not only does it give a legitimate reason as for why it's been so long since we've seen the door, because Kane was the one blocking it, but also it just adds to the mystery even more. So I don't know about you, but we're getting dangerously close to this finale and I need some answers now. Please give me them, Goose. I cannot wait any longer. Now, in saying all that, I assume, just based off the clues this teaser gives us, that the characters or Pomni will eventually find this red exit door again, but will struggle to leave through it because Pomni will not want to leave Jax behind despite their falling out in the previous episode. And eventually, I believe things will go haywire as Jax either abstracts entirely or begins the process of abstracting, which will in some way lead to Kane's AI to break and the world eventually glitching out. Now, do keep in mind, this is just a little theory of mine, my personal game theory, and, you know, this video could age like milk after Friday, but even if I'm a little right here, just a little bit right here, we might be in for the most heartbreaking story ever. Because despite this show only being around for 2 and a bit years now, this world, this story, and these characters have left such an impact on us all. They've made us laugh, scared, and a strange mix of both at times. So at the end of the day, this story not only needs to be interesting, but needs to actually be meaningful. But I gotta admit, the critic inside me is a little worried for these next 3 episodes, because now it's make it or break it. Now hold on, peeps. Do you want to be featured in a video? Just like Armand Leatherwood, Freezer Shock, and 3DK? Then you need to subscribe right now. Peeps, I'm on a mission to get to 30,000 subscribers, and I need your help in order to reach it. So if you guys are enjoying the content I've been making so far and want to potentially be featured in a video just like this, then you need to subscribe right now and go into the comments down below telling me you subscribed, and who knows, it might be your name that's the one featured in my very next video. But with that, let's get back into Digital Circus. Now, why do I say this is a make it or break it situation? After all, if the series has been doing so well up until this point, then what's to worry about? And while yes, it has been really solid so far, I do have to give some honest criticism here and say that there's a real possibility that these next 3 episodes do flounder, because we're already on the road to the end of Digital Circus and we still feel like we've only seen a quarter of this world. And as we've seen in some prior episodes, we've seen this series be willing to hold back on some of the more major and story important elements for the sake of having just a solid episode, like with episode 3 in particular. So to now go from half the show being not really about anything to suddenly the last few episodes begin to bring in more major plot details, you do have to wonder whether or not they're actually going to be able to follow through on it in a satisfying way. And to those of you who say that's unlikely, need I remind you that this very thing has happened to Glitch before. Look no further than the ending of Murder Drones. The show was picking up more and more as it was going along, and while I wasn't a big fan of it, you could tell that they were laying the groundwork for something pretty big to come. But they ultimately spent too little time exploring all of this in their prior episodes that when they did eventually get to the end, they were forced to play catch up with themselves because they simply had no time anymore to explore these elements, which led to the final episode that, while not awful, did really feel unsatisfying. And I know both Murder Drones and Digital Circus are very different, but there's a saying, if something can happen once, then chances are it can probably happen again. So when I see the team at Glitch want to set up this and that and this, I do have to wonder whether they'll actually have enough time in order to justify any of it. Because so far as a studio, arguably their biggest flaw has been their rushed endings. So just know that when I voice my concerns here, it's not me saying, oh, I know this will happen for a fact, or oh, I want this to fail because of da-da-da-da, because on the contrary, I do want this show to succeed. I do want them to actually get this ending right. I've been hooked on this series ever since it first came out. I want this to do well. But in saying that, you do also have to keep in mind that we don't have a lot of time left and there's still so much to explore. So the chances of them not hitting the landing are growing more and more here. That is why I feel like episode 7 is either going to be a make it or break it moment for the series as a whole. Because if this episode doesn't work, if this episode is at all unsatisfying, then the last 2 episodes probably won't work either. But if they actually manage to get it right and make it satisfying, Digital Circus may just be the one to break the ending curse for Glitch, and in doing so, might be their strongest series of all time. So, you know, here's hoping, no, fingers crossed. But will they manage to stick the landing, or will they fall flat on their face? Regardless of if they do or not, I'ma be here to talk about it the moment I see it. But what about you, peeps? Are you just as excited as I am for this episode, or are you more hesitant given Glitch's track record up until this point? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'm interested to see what you guys make of this and whether or not you feel my concerns are justified or not. And if you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to like this video and subscribe. But with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.